I've made 4 different book covers, 3 of which were made all on iPhone. Here's how those were made and a little bit of my process for making book covers. My name is Roberto Cuevas and I am Cued, an indie filmmaker, artist, and musician. The process always starts with talking with the authors. Founders of Forbidden Origins, Armani Salato and Eric Martinez, for their flagship IP, The Old Universe. What we know is our Big Bang and start is actually the cataclysmic end to a war in the Old Universe. For this one, the objective was to show the main character, Corin, Nox, and Zaman. I had to do some concept art for Corin, so that was what I did first. This is an Art Studio Pro on iPhone. Then once I had that concept art, I put the character in the scene, standing and looking at the vast universe, and 2 larger-than-life figures looming over it. The second book was a collection of short stories called Echoes of the Old Universe. We knew we wanted Zaman, Keeper of Time, kind of looking at a book. The words from those stories should be echoing and rippling off the page. Built the background in Unreal Engine and then painted the character Zaman on iPhone. There's a particular angle that I had to get right. I had reference images of Zaman, but it was still kind of tough to get the lighting, so then I had to take a reference image of myself, and I promise I'm not thirst trap a year. This is what you gotta do for the art, okay? This one taught me so much about lighting and rendering. It was a lot of fun. And then the third cover was for the Old Universe Book 2. Corin is flying up and escaping the accursed monsters that get unleashed by the Allfather, Nox. Spoilers for the end of book 1. And this was really tough to do, but luckily, just like for the first book, I had a really great concept from Armani I could use as a base to kind of build on. Kind of make this look sort of like a gothic, but also very majestic piece. Done all on iPhone. I also leveraged Nomad Sculpt just so I could get those metallic textures. And throughout any process like this, yes, the art is important, but also design is important. Thinking about like where are you directing the viewer's eye when they're looking at these book covers? Especially today when there's so many books, how do you make something that stands out and tells you exactly what this book is just with an image? The most recent cover was for Ascension, book 1 of Cleansing the Bloodline. This concept I was playing around with called Dual Reflex pretty much told me what I needed to do. This is a character who's doing everything he can to climb out of the depths of the chaotic world he was born into. And he's never going to feel like he can reach the heights he wants to reach. He wants to get off this planet. He wants to go beyond the stars. As he stands there, he's standing on the sky, above the clouds. He walks on the universe. Once that became clear to me, the whole image came together. I'm taking a reference image, trying to match the pose, then I can start blocking in details. I also have to keep the back cover in mind too, so I was able to use a flipped version. And for his daggers, I got to model those in Nomad Sculpt as well. I always love being able to work in 3D where I can. And with each piece of art, we've been able to sort of figure out the visual language for the story. A while ago, I announced that we were doing an animated project, and that's still in development. It's changed a lot. I'm stoked to share more when the time comes, and it's been such a blast to work with them. And digital art is a tricky process for me because I'm always seeing my weaknesses reflected back to me. Doing this stuff on iPhone allows me to just focus on what's in front of me and not really compare my work to other artists. And with each piece, I have learned so much. The goal has been for each one to be better than the last, so I feel good about it. Making book covers is not something that I plan to do, but it's fun, and I look forward to doing it again for really cool stories.